The following video contains language that may be inappropriate for young viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to Behind the Bars, where we bring the unseen and the unheard stories from the depths of the prison system to the forefront. I'm your host, Jason Boss, and together we'll explore the madness, the chaos, and the harsh realities hidden behind the steel doors of prisons worldwide. From the local jailhouse to death row across the world, we'll show you the isolation, the seclusion, and the decades spent enduring unimaginable conditions. These are the stories of survival, struggle, and humanity in places most of us will never see. We're here to shine a light on what society often forgets, the voices of the incarcerated. Each story is real, each voice is authentic, and every moment reveals the raw, unfiltered truth of life behind the bars. Join me for a journey like no other, a journey into the darkness, the truth, and the resilience of the human spirit. This is Behind the Bars, real life, real stories.
I think the last movie I seen in the free world was I took Denise, the girl in my case, to see Titanic in '97.
Wow.
I think that was the last time I went to the movies.
Wow, that's
She loves me, Celine Dion. Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, Celine Dion's all jacked up now. She can't even sing.
Yeah, I know.
She's messed up. Okay, all right.
So,
So,
I get popped, and I go to magistrate court, probable cause hearing, and I beat it on technicality. I had to wait until 3 or 4 o'clock. They had to produce the agent and tell them about federal public defender. Just you say this and you do this, and it's like, I see you guys coming through here all the time, man. I know what's up. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Trying to get me to admit that I was alien smuggling. Don't trust this dude.
Yeah.
He works with this prosecutor every day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, man, look, dude. I was out test driving the old Z71, and it came across these 17 people and a little lady with a baby out in the desert. It's 115 in the shade. We'll die out there in a matter of 2 or 3 hours. You know?
Right.
It gets up to like 130 in the afternoon.
Right.
It's crazy.
So,
yeah, I beat it on they produced the agent, and he testified that I was not driving the vehicle when they made the stop or the arrest. So the judge dismisses the charges, 17 counts of alien smuggling.
Awesome. 2
to 10 years per person, brother.
Whoa.
That is a minimum of 34 years spent time.
Wow.
If convicted.
Wow.
A maximum of 170 years. And they're threatening me if I don't cooperate that they'll throw the book at me.
Right.
And I'll never see freedom again. I was in that all over praying, man. Praying.
I bet.
From immigration detention facility in Nogales, where they had people packed in cages like sardines, to Belmont Federal Penitentiary, where they put me in a tank full of snitches. There were snitches in there from Ecuador, Venezuela, Cuba, Panamanians, you name it. They had a whole hodgepodge of guys in there, and they were trying to get me to talk. And I'm telling them about the movie Point Break. I was robbing banks. See, yeah. And bandito de banco. And they were just eating it up, thinking they're getting some good information, right? And I was just selling them a line of bull, you know.
All right, so
yeah, I spent the week.
You were slamming dope during this '96 time, right?
Yes. Okay. So once I started working as a smuggler, and they set me up in Phoenix with the place to crash, I was running the streets of Avondale, which is on the west side of Phoenix. Right on the outskirts of Phoenix is a city called Avondale. As soon as you're leaving Phoenix, you'll start seeing cotton fields for about, I don't know, a mile or so, and then all of a sudden you'll see Avondale exit. You go past Glendale, and you leave Phoenix heading west towards L.A. on I-10, and then Avondale pops up right away. It's just right on the outskirts of Phoenix. It's probably in Phoenix nowadays. And that's where I was set up with a friend to stay with the boss's wife. He had an American wife and 2 kids, but he couldn't come to the United States because he was wanted for alien smuggling. So they would go to Mexico once a month to be with him. So I was trusted right away. I made that first run, I made a second run, and then he asked me, where are you staying? And he's like, here, go to this address, and my wife's going to put you up. So I was pretty much, once I was in, I was all in. And then it was bring $10,000 to Mexico. You're allowed to bring $10,000 in without declaring it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was bring the family with you next weekend. We'd go stay in the motel with him and him and his family, and we'd hang out and party all weekend. And I came like, part of the business, part of the family.
Mm.
So while I'm hanging out in Avondale, I'm looking for a place to score some weed. I find that, and then eventually I find a dealer. Same thing in Colorado. I found a dealer that's selling other stuff too, and just kind of like, hey man, I got some meth. I'm like, really? I didn't even hesitate, bro. I just, like you said, you put it in front of me, and it's hard to say no. It really is. I hadn't had any help.
No
to this day,
third-party
I've never
calls
had
are
any
allowed.
help. I was just hearing the talk. That's why I'm saying that. I hear the pitties barking.
Yeah,
So I'm like, yeah. How much is that? Oh, I'll give you a deal. Since you brought me to the country, I'm like, huh? Yeah, I met several dealers that I brought to the United States. Later on, I met another one, and it just blew my mind.
No third-party calls are allowed.
Started realizing who I was working for, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I started snorting it again and smoking it, and then where was that work? I was doing something, working in. I got this chick out of projects in Avondale. She was being done really bad by these Mexican drug dealers. They were selling crack out of her place and smoking crack, and they had her turned out on crack. And I had gone over there to meet the dope dealer that was selling drugs out of her apartment on the weekends. He would hang out there and sell drugs. And I seen what was going on. It was this big, heavy-set white girl. I just didn't like it. Her name was Nancy. I didn't like what I was seeing, and I didn't like the way they were treating her. So I came back on a Monday when everybody was gone, and I knocked on her door and told her, hey, this is a bad situation you're in, and I kind of feel like you're trapped. And but we were hanging out Saturday and Sunday, and the way you kept clinging to me and talking to me, and like you wanted somebody to help me get out of the situation. She's like, I do, but I'm so terrified. I'm so scared of them. I don't know what to do. She was in HUD housing, government housing. So I made her a deal. I told her, look, I had already been up to Glendale and been to the projects there. And I told her, I'll take you to the government offices and drive you around all week, and we'll get you set up in government housing and Glendale projects. And the deal is no more drug dealers, no more people living with you except for me. And I'll help you get your life straightened out. And she was like, hey. So I did that. I drove her around for a few days, took her to all the offices. She did all the paperwork. I waited on her. We spent a whole week doing this. And she got an apartment. Like, she was going to move in like 10 days later. I went and moved her. This girl
No third-party calls are allowed.
And this girl could cook, like a Mexican girl, man. She made homemade tamales that just were out of this world.
No third-party calls are allowed.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
I don't know.
There's noise in the background?
Yeah, I hear that too. I don't know why. Maybe it's the dogs or something. I don't know why they're.
Probably, yeah. It's the dogs. Yeah. Is the recording interrupting me talking? Do I need to just repeat myself?
Yeah, just keep rolling. I don't think we're missing anything.
Okay. So I got Nancy put up in Glendale over by Sun City, Phoenix. And after that, she wanted to get off the crack, and I helped her get off the crack. She was still drinking and smoking, and that was pretty much my crash pad. But I met a dude over there in the apartments I was hanging out with, and
no third-party calls are allowed.
He did meth, and he told me, hey, man, you ever shoot this shit up? I was like, no. He's like, oh, man, it's a rush, dude. So he helped me do it the first time. He showed me how. Boy, I wish that had never happened. I went from an addictive personality to just meth junkie, man. I was slamming that shit. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm.
I was slamming dope every day, man.
Yeah.
It's vicious. It's vicious once you start putting it in your veins like that.
Yeah, it is. It takes it. It's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So you.
A whole nother level for real.
Yeah. So you got
I'm doing
the monkey.
Snorting. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
No third-party calls are allowed.
I'm here.
Okay. I don't know why I keep saying this.
It's background noise. It's hearing something.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you got to the needle. The needle's running your life.
Yeah, I'm running the streets. Well, I would make my one run to the border. I would get a call from Paige, call from the boss. I would call him back, and I would go over there and get the directions, or he would tell me. And I would go in on Monday morning and pick up a load. So 15, 17, maybe 20 grand of people, and I would bring it back, and I would get anywhere from a minimum of $500, probably usually $1,000 or $1,500 right away. And they tell me come back tonight or come back tomorrow for the rest of your money. And I would burn off and go score dope and run the streets Monday through Sunday. And all I did was hang out with drug dealers and party, and I was their best friend until I ran out of money. I would sit on the couch and plow their dope and do it. Order pizzas, go get some beer, let's watch football. And that was just the life of the party, man.
Yep.
Hang out in titty bars. I was making it rain before that stuff was popular. I used to go to the bank and get 51s, go in there, hang out for a few hours, and then when I was ready to go, I'd throw 51s up in the air, watch the girls fall around picking it up. And I'd tell you, and you, come with me, let's go to my house and party. And Nancy didn't like it, but what could she say, you know?
Right. Okay. So you're hanging out in 96. Where does this go from here?
I keep on alien smuggling, and after I got caught that first time and beat it, then I told the boss what they said, and I said they had me on the computer crossing the border hundreds of times. And he said, okay, man, you're not going to be going to Mexico anymore, except for just to come down here and bring some money in and bring the family, maybe bring some money. We'll see how things go. But I'm going to start sending you all over the U.S. I was like, okay. So I took a Florida Econoline 350 extended van with like 22 people to Chicago.
Wow.
Went up by Lincoln Park, north side of Chicago, and dropped them off. Collected like $15,000, the other half of the money, probably less than half. Collected like 15 or 20 grand, and turned around and drove back to Phoenix. I went to New York first I went to Birmingham, Alabama, and dropped off 2 guys, and then I took a father and son all the way into Queens, New York, and dropped them off, and got paid a nice chunk of money. I can't remember what it was, but it was tens of thousands of dollars. Turned around and drove back to Phoenix. When I was driving back, it was always on my time. It was vacation time. Boss would tell us, "You got the money? Yeah." He would tell us, "This amount is yours. That's your cut. And take your time coming back, man. Enjoy yourself. Stop and see some sights. Do some tourist shit. Have fun. I'll see you in a week." And we would do just that, man. We'd stop and see different amusement parks and, frequent bars in different cities. Went to Beale Street, went to Memphis, stopped in I went through the Arches in St. Louis. Some big amusement park in St. Louis I wanted to stop at. It's supposed to be world
Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Boss, and I'm the host of Behind the Bars. First, I want to thank you for watching, sharing, and supporting our channel. This project means the world to us because it's about giving a voice to the unheard, the men and women behind the bars who share their raw, unfiltered stories of life, mistakes, redemption, and lessons learned. But here's the reality. Because of the nature of our content, Behind the Bars will never be monetized by YouTube, and that's okay. We're not doing this for the money, but to keep telling you these stories, to keep bringing you interviews from across the plains, we need your help. Right now, we're sitting on over 15 incredible interviews that are waiting to be edited and shared. We've got the footage, but we need the resources. More interviews mean more editors, more work, and a bigger team to make this vision a reality. And that's where you come in. By becoming a Patreon today, you're not just helping bring us these stories to life. You're also getting exclusive access to behind the scenes conversations and untold stories that won't be available on YouTube. These are the moments that take you deeper into the lives of our interviewees, as well as the challenges and triumphs we face while we are creating this channel. If you've ever been moved by one of these stories, if you believe in the power of second chances and in a shining light on the human experience, please consider supporting us. With your help, we can reach further and roll out even more of the content you love. So from the bottom of my heart and from all of us here at Behind the Bars, thank you for being a part of this journey. Much love to you, y'all, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Famous. We didn't get to stop, though, because we were in a hurry to get to Memphis. We wanted to go to Beale Street, experience the blues, you know. We didn't even make it to Beale Street, man.
What happened?
We pulled into Memphis, Tennessee, and wound up in the projects, picked up a hooker and had her go score some dope. And we're driving around with her in the back of the car, and she starts geeking right away. She's like, and we stopped at a convenience store, gave her like $5 and told her, go in there and get us a 6-pack. And when she went in the store, I turned around and drove off to get rid of her.
All right, so
we got back on the road after that since we'd scored some coke. Yeah, just the drugs, man. It never stopped. It didn't matter where I was at, what I was doing. I would always seek it out and find it. I had a real addictive personality with obsessive addiction, and it wasn't until I came to prison that I really started to. It took years before the cravings went away.
No third-party calls are allowed.
So I think that happens every time I hit mute on my phone because my dogs are going crazy. Then that lady comes back, is what that is. So that's me that's making that happen.
It hears the clicking.
Yeah.
You're doing a third party call.
Yeah.
Just cover it with your hand.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Yeah, that so I think the Lord healed me of my addictions in here over the years. That it got to the point where I don't even think about it or crave it anymore. Now, I can't say if somebody put it in front of me, I don't know what I would do. But the old me, this past year, I've gone through a lot of changes spiritually. So now I'm really anti-drug now.
Mm-hmm.
I see what it's doing to us in this place. I mean, look, we've been locked down 33 days today.
Wow.
And they're telling us we're not coming up to like the 18th or 19th. They're going to shake down 12 building again. We get to go through. We just went through a shakedown on like January 10th. We got shut down around January 10th, and we're fixing to get it again. Here it is, February 10th, and they're fixing to hit us again here in like a week. This is insanity in action, man. It's all behind, as you know, what's going on here. You know all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I feel like I've come full circle when things like this happen. I'm like, this is what my life's been reduced to. This is the kind of stuff that was ruining my life, and I'm in prison, and it's still affecting me indirectly, but directly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very. I mean, that's an incredible insight because you're absolutely right. And for those outside that don't know what we're talking about is on the 15th of January there were at least 4 and maybe 5 inmates that ended up dead with all sorts of different things that are going on. One guy on death row and a couple guys in population. A couple things were the fentanyl. I guess a couple guys went up to the high levels and ended up flying off the top.
Floor.
Yep, third floor, and they ended up taking a flying leap. Another inmate was avoiding somebody trying to stab him, and he fell off the top and died. So
another one was murdered.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then a guy on death row as well.
Death row.
Yep.
He had a heart attack because he cried wolf so much they just ignored him when he said he needed medical help. They just didn't take him seriously. The boy that cried wolf.
Wow.
The officer was trying to feed lunch. I was in a media interview that day, and I didn't even hear about it till the next day. I left the building, came back from visit after doing the interview, and I didn't even hear about it till the next day. I was like, what? HQ ordered the whole unit locked down. Apparently 3 people died yesterday. I'm like, what? Crazy, man.
If you could go back, I guess if, this is one of these things that's just kind of hindsight, but if you could go back to a young you and explain to him what the old you knows now, where would you go back to, and do you think that you would be able to talk a young Charles into stopping doing what he did all his life?
No, I don't think that the younger me would listen. I don't think most of your youngsters will listen or be receptive to, even in a scared straight type setting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing I've learned over the years is, and this is true, rings true with my older brother, you have to want to change.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hit rock bottom before you want to change. You really have to hit skid row, rock bottom, down and out, and just be so disgusted with yourself and your life and drugs that you reach that apex, that moment where you're just like, man, I got to make some changes or I'm going to wind up dead. And I've been there a few times before I, really started to wake up to my situation, but I never heeded. What I knew was like a sign or just me running my life into the ground. I never heeded the warning. Like when my joyride in Arizona on alien smuggling, when it came to an abrupt end, Bill Clinton had just became president in '96, and the Timothy McVeigh thing happened, and he shut down the border in November of 1996, and the boss told me there was not going to be any more alien smuggling until 2 weeks into January. So just take some time off, and he gave me $500 and told me this is all you get, and that was it. That was the end of that business. That's when I got out. I told him. I told him a few weeks later I was heading back to Texas. In the meantime, I got popped for shoplifting. I used to drive around some shoplifters back in the day in Texas. These guys were showing me how the shoplifting scams they used to run.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing it to get alcohol and stuff to sell to drug dealers. Like, all drug dealers need laundry detergent.
Mm-hmm.
They like barbecue, charcoal, and stuff like that. So I was going in the grocery store in Phoenix and put the big industrial box of Tide in the basket, a couple of those, a couple bags of Kingsford charcoal, a few bottles of Cuervo, a few bottles of Bacardi 151, and some other things that you don't bag up. And I would push the basket around by the greeting cards by the exit entrance. And then I would mosey around in the greeting cards, might hook around over to the soda machine and get a soda and come back and see if anybody was watching me. And I would walk up to the shopping cart, and it was 10 feet from the door, bro, right there in the greeting cards. I would walk up to the cart, push it out, and straight to the car, load all the stuff up, and drive away. And I got busted. Got busted doing it on Thanksgiving, dude. That's how you know your life's in shambles. I mean, you're shoplifting on Thanksgiving.
So this would have been 97? This is 97?
Yeah. No, 96. Thanksgiving.
Still 96.
Thanksgiving, 96.
Wow.
Thanksgiving, 96. and I got busted and arrested for shoplifting. Cop came to the grocery store. The stock guy grabbed me and hauled me back in the store. He got me in a bear hug, and I couldn't get loose. And he hauled me back in the store. The manager was there waiting for him at the door. And they took me in the office and called the cops. And I was like, man. So I got a ticket. The cop told me, you're lucky it's a busy day for us. I'm going to let you go with this appearance to you got a ticket for shoplifting. I skipped town and never went back. And, so I had like $20 to my name, and I went down to the projects in downtown Phoenix to score some dope. And the motor blew in my car. So now I'm on the street, and I just scored dope, and I think I got 50 cents in my pocket, and I'm high as a kite. And this is my Skid Row moment. This is when I was like, man, I got to get out of this life before I wind up dead. A lowrider full of gangbangers came by throwing me gang signs, telling me, what's up, they're sending you in the wrong side of town, Holmes. What you doing in the rodeo? I'm like, sure, right. I'm out of here. I hooked it back to Glendale to the north side on foot. And I called my mom, 1-800-COLLECT. I told her I need a plane ticket home. She's like, you ready to clean up your life? I was like, yeah. She's like, what's wrong? I thought you were making good money smuggling aliens. You didn't save any like I told you? No, Mom, I never listened, you know. So what are you going to do? I'll come home and get a job and start over. I flew home on December 1st with no money, no nothing, to clothes on my back, and started over. But, you know, blessed to have a family to be able to do that, you know.
Yeah, wow.
A lot of people don't even have that in life.
Right.
So I moved home and got a job as subway night manager. Started working, saved up for a car, got a job working for the moving company. The people that own it live next to my parents. And I met the girl in this case on my birthday, June 13th, 1997. I had the day off for my birthday, and the boss called me up like noon and said, man, we've got a call about this $1 billion art collection. There was a fire at this house, and we're going to be on TV. The news media is going to be there. We want us to go move the art collection out of the house. Part of the house is burnt down, and we got some new company shirts with white lettering with the company logo. We're going to get some free advertising today. We know it's your birthday. We need you to come to work. I live right next door. I was like, okay, I'll be over in a few minutes. So I went to work on my birthday. We moved the art collection. We were on TV. Came back to the house around 4:30. Nobody was around. I grabbed a six-pack out of the refrigerator and walked down 2 blocks down the street to my friend Troy's house. And I was going to go drink a beer with him and his roommate Daryl. Watch myself on TV. It's my birthday. You know, hey guys, here I am. Got a six-pack. I didn't come empty-handed. It's my birthday. And Daryl was there. Troy was gone. And we were having a beer, waiting for the 5 o'clock news to come on, just to see if they ran the story. It wasn't on the 4 o'clock news. I got down there like 4:45, and all of a sudden somebody comes to the door. Ding dong. And it was Tamise, the lady in my case. She had been dating Troy on and off. She showed up at 5 o'clock on a weekday afternoon looking for Troy. We offered her a beer. She sat down with a bunch of the story. We seen me on the TV carrying her work out of the house. And that six-pack was gone by 6 o'clock. And Daryl could see that there was like some sparks. Me and her kept looking at each other, and she kept laughing at everything I said. We seemed to hit it off, you know. There was an attraction.
Yeah.
Mutual attraction. Yeah. So Daryl was like, you know, hey man, I suggested I'm gonna go get some more beer, man. It's just getting this day started, man. It's my birthday, and he's like, you 2 kids, go ahead, man. I gotta hop in the shower. I got things to do this evening. I looked at her and said, you want to go to the bar? She's like, sure. So away we went. went outside, and she told me, I can't figure out how to get the top down on this Miata. She had borrowed somebody's convertible Miata. They needed her truck to move some furniture or something, to move something. I don't remember what. So I put the drop top down. She gave me the keys and said, you drive. And we went down to the local bar where all the movers used to hang out.
You have 1 minute left.
Stayed in there drinking till 2 a.m. and closed the bar. We had a wild night. I don't think we got to sleep till 5 in the morning. And we were inseparable from that day forward.
I think this is
together every day.
I think this is a
place to stop.
Yeah, this is a really good place to stop, man. So June 13th, 1997. Is that your birthday? You said?
97. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that day changed your life forever, and I think that's a good place to pick it up. In the near future. All right, my brother. I thank you so much, man.
Alrighty.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your discussions. And
when do you want to talk again?
Very soon.
Do you want me to call you again?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll send you an email. We'll get it scheduled up. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, brother.
Just to go eat my tacos. It all starts in 20 minutes.
Have a good night, bro. Have fun. Enjoy your time, and I will talk to you again. Much love,
Thank
brother.
You for using
tell the family I said hi.
Will do.